Hey everybody, Mike with Mike and the Mad Dogs, and what I'd like to talk to you today about is the origin of Mike and the Mad Dogs and how it all started and so on, all that neat stuff. So in order to do that, let's go back to, let's say, around 2014. For those of you who know me, that I'm in the IT field. Been doing IT for a very long time. So with that basically comes looking at working at a profession for over 35 years, and you start to question, do I want to keep doing this? But I don't want to get ahead of myself. So here it is, I'm working at Dell Services, and I'm working with a gentleman by the name of Ted Fox. That's Ted right there. And what we would talk about on any given day would be naturally the procedures and so on, and the support issues we were dealing with at the time, and what was going on and any given day, and talking about our new manager and so on. But one of the things we would talk about was that, and in particular myself, I would just really talk to him about, I'm tired of doing IT, or I'm getting tired of doing it, and I'd like to do something for myself. So don't know when exact, and it's not important, it came up, but I had mentioned that maybe he was just joking around, but talking about, I might as well just sell hot dogs on a street corner. And Ted's eyes lit up. What? Oh, that's interesting. What do you mean? What are you talking about, Mikey? Let me know more. What is it? And I was like, wow, that really lit something up. So I started to talk about how back in the 70s with my brothers, venture into the hot dog business with my dad and so on, and how I got involved with it for one summer or whatever it was. And I mentioned that I really enjoyed it. It was something that was interesting. You were your own boss and so on and so forth. And he goes, sounds like something you could do here. And I said, is it really? And I started to think, nah, not really. So it kind of came and went. But Ted wouldn't let it go. No. He basically said to me every other day, we should really look into this. And I'm like, are you offering to be a partner or something? You're going to pony up some money in order to do this? Because this is not something that's going to just all of a sudden you get up one day and you go out and do it. There's a lot of stuff that's involved. And he said, well, he wasn't really going to offer any money or whatever, but what he was doing was offering a ton of enthusiasm and encouragement. And perhaps that's what I needed. So with that said, I started to look into it and what it is I need to do with regards to getting this off the ground. And trust me, it's a lot. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but I could tell you that there are so many things involved with regards to getting a venture like this off the ground, and things you need to look into. All right, so here it is. You're starting a business that's going to sell food to people. All right, where's your venue? Where do you do this? What kind of restrictions are you going to be met with? Things that are going to stop you dead in your tracks. Well, yeah, so you do your research into that. How do you do this? Where do you get the hot dog cart from? Where do you get your product from? There was so much that I started to become disillusioned again, and I started to think to myself, I don't know if this is even worth it. Well, that wasn't going to happen because Ted would continue to encourage and really pull me along in this respect. He'd say, Mikey, and that's what he loved to call me, Mikey. You need to really, you have adversity, put your head down, plow forward. And I would say, Ted, it's not that easy. There's so many things that are being thrown in my way. He goes, just get through them. The obstacles in life, you put your head down. And I'm like, okay. So it was one cliche after another, but in all of it was was true. In other words, if I really wanted this, you had to work for it. This wasn't going to be handed to you. So I started to think, let me do some more serious research. Now, I started to think in regards to what's my market? Where am I going to do this? How am I going to set this up? Well, my market's going to be here in North Texas in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. All right. So you got your market. If you want, put a map on the wall and draw a circle, and there you go. There's your market. Now, you want to focus in. And I'm like, okay, so what are you going to sell? Well, you're going to sell hot dogs. Then I started thinking, this area is a lot of people that have transplanted, have moved from other parts of the country. One of them being the New York area or tri-state area. So what product could I sell them? And I thought back to my brother's business way back in the 70s, and one of the hot dogs that New Yorkers are very familiar with is the Sabret brand. That's it right there, Sabret. All natural casing, really not gourmet, but very tasty hot dog. All right, if there is such a thing, which I know there is. Now, you could have, I could have looked at other, markets to cater to in regards to Chicago with their Vienna beef. And there it is right there. But, don't want Vienna beef. I wanted to do something I was familiar with. So anyway, that's what I was going to look into. But we'll talk more about this when we get back, and I can get into how it would be to get a business going, how to get it all legal, and all this fun stuff. This was the tough part, but we were going to get through this.